am Bear Wiseman with Tuonela Magazine, and I am here once again to help you get to know Dane Pieper, one of the two guitarists from Classless Act.
Hello, I am Dane Pieper, one of the two guitarists from Classless Act.
So, I've been reading everyone's bios, and the first thing that shows up with you is that you were born in Honolulu in Hawaii, but you were adopted and raised in California. So, I don't know if there's a what was that like question, but I suppose like have you ever been able to actually go to Hawaii?
Yeah, I've been, Hawaii is just like a really dope place. So, I've gone in the past for school trips, but then in recent years, I've gone to meet like the birth side of my family. So I got two families, two amazing moms and a dad, and yeah, it's like a whole world of explanation. So it's cool like finding out about yourself. Yeah, I found out that through a genealogy test that I'm like 25% Asian or Chinese because a lot of Hawaiian people are like Chinese, and I actually have royal Hawaiian blood in me because one of my ancestors was a mistress for King Kamehameha, one of the kings for Hawaii. So it's just been a journey of exploring my past and yeah, it's cool. So I kind of grew up like a beach rat. Was born in Hawaii, grew up in San Diego, and now I live in like LA. And on the side, on occasion, I coach beach volleyball. So and I surf. So I'm like, I talk like a beach rat too. So it's a part of my personality. I can't help it.
Do you know how to surf?
I do. I do know how to surf. It's yeah. I surf a longboard. Just catch a left or catch a right. Just have a good time with it. I don't do any of the crazy like helicopter stuff, but yeah, I love going out. It's one of my favorite like Zen moments is just being out there past the break, and you get to look up and down the coastline, and no phones, no BS. You're just out there and like in just an environment that you're not like conducive to. So you're just bobbing up and down in water. It's my favorite, one of my favorite moments ever.
Well, it sounds like you have pretty like good-natured and easygoing parents. So, with that kind of old school fear of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, like how do they feel about you being a rock star?
Yeah. Well, I would like to say I have amazing parents like around the board. Yeah, because just for them to be open to showing me like rock and roll and stuff like that. It's just showed that they were understanding that when I got into music and performing that when I was a kid that they wanted to make sure that there weren't too many like unnecessary filters for like bias filters. So I don't know, they're very, I don't know if cool is the right word, but they were cool parents, and at the very least, they were supportive of everything I was doing. Because when I went to school, first at a community college, and then transferred to USC, the University of Southern California. Yeah, when I first got in the Classless Act, there was if the band needed to tour or travel or anything like that, they were 100% supportive in the fact that if I needed to drop out, they said that, oh, you could always go back to school. Being in this band's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But with all that being said, I graduated without needing to take any time off school, but they were supportive if I needed to. So they were all, yeah. So I think I'm very lucky in that sense.
And I understand also that you're pretty into sports and fitness. And do I remember correctly hearing that you've studied like personal training or something like that?
Yeah, well, I'm a certified personal trainer. I got my certification in NASM, one of the National Allegiance, something of sports medicine. One of the hardest ones to get. Yeah, I got that last year before I passed the test in January of last year, and then I was thinking, okay, the Dorothy's tour is starting like in 3 months. Awesome. Like I'll get started on this personal training thing, and I haven't gotten started on it at all. Because a lot of places, they want like trainers to be there for like a while and work with clients, and they don't want someone who's here for like a month and then has to leave the tour. So I did all the work. I did all the study and study for like 3 months straight, and I haven't used it once. But yeah, I have to look into how to get it, renewed and stuff. You have to do every like 2 years because money and stuff. But I am a certified personal trainer, so fitness is a part of my life. I picked up a job as a running coach for a recovering women's facility close by. and we actually had our 5K last week. And yeah, so it's cool. It's only like I just run 3 miles because they needed someone to kind of facilitate the outdoors portion of it. Someone to lead the pack and keep up with everyone. So it's just a fulfilling like once a week part-time gig among some other part-time gigs I have. So yeah, being like active is definitely a big part of my life.
You kind of touched on this already, but is it hard then to balance sports and music, what with that touring life and everything?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that after a little bit, if you have a passion for something, you'll find like a groove to incorporate it in your life. So yeah, whenever like I guess the best example is whenever we were on tour and all that, we'd be bouncing from motel room to motel room. Because in my head, a day is not complete until you have like a good workout in. After the show in the corner, everyone's like winding down, playing on their phones. Like I'll be like shirtless in the corner doing push-ups and crunches, my own like prison workout, doing push-ups and crunches in the corner for like an hour. So you find a way to make it work. Go on walks and stuff like that. But coaching, beach volleyball has like allowed me to incorporate sports in my life and have it still be there. But even small stuff I appreciate, like walking down to the basketball court or just the running coach thing was like a perfect like gig to be active and be paid to be outside, and it was like a great cause. So yeah, I'm lucky to have my like focus on music, but then still be able to pursue sport in a decent capacity on the side.
You guys were obviously on tour a whole lot last year, so was it all just kind of prison workouts, as you said, or did you get any chance to do any sports or stop at any gyms or anything like that, or was it all just work, work, music, go, go, go?
Yeah. Well, it was a lot like it was a lot of traveling, as you said. We traveled 50,000 miles last year, more than that, like 52,000 miles. In the 7 months last year, the odometer thing has like a little meter for time. It was like more than like it was like 1,200 hours in the van too. So a lot of time traveling the world, just doing laps, around the U.S. But yeah, so yeah, most that was like on my schedule was that we travel and then 11 p.m. would like roll around and I just have the inclination to work out and just make the room smell like sweat for like an hour. But yeah, it was definitely we traveled a lot. We traveled a lot, but it was like the paying your dues kind of stuff. The kind of stuff where like you like look back and say, I remember when we were in that Motel 6, in I don't know, in like Jacksonville, and the AC sounded like a helicopter because there was something broken in there, and we kept kicking it, trying to fix it, and then it never fixed. So it's a yeah, it's just experiences like that make you like you all commiserate at the time, but then you look back and with the rose-colored glasses with nostalgia and appreciate it.
It sounds like such an experience to go from being a house band to being on kind of like a local tour to being on this gigantic stadium
Mhm.
tour. So what was the kind of transition between these like for you guys?
It was cool being like all over the gamut. Um, because before that, we'd play like 9 to 1 a.m. and like a small bar close by, and then go from that to some opportunities like on the stadium tour with like 25,000 people, and then playing theaters with Dorothy. So it was cool, that was all in our first like year of touring. So it was amazing to get like a taste of that and kind of what the upper echelon is and kind of like what everyone experiences. So it was very much a humbling experience, especially because with things like the stadium tour and the Dorothy and Giovanni tours, it was incredible coming across kind of a firsthand experience and seeing how these kind of grandiose operations work. On the face of the ticket, you see Dorothy, Molly Crew, and all these people, but under the giant umbrella, it takes a real village to put on some kind of operation like that. On the stadium tour, there were like 200 like stagehands or something in like any given city, and like they'd be making like hammocks under the stage. So like they have their break and their nap time like during the stage while everyone's rocking. So like and we'd walk by and see like 10 hammocks under, and I'm like, man, these people are working hard. Like, from there from 6 to 2 in the morning. So definitely may open our eyes to really appreciating kind of all the work that people put in.
Did you guys get to like spend a lot of time with the other bands on these tours, like both on the small tour and on the stadium tour? Like, did you get to know the other musicians at all, or was it all again like very like work to the point, go play, hotel?
Yeah, well, actually, for us, it was cool because we did get some opportunities to hang out with some other bands. Um, yeah, like most of the time, like we'll start in order of the tours. So yeah, it's on the Dorothy tour. We'd see like Dorothy's band all the time. Sam, all Elliot, Dorothy herself. We're all great people. Yeah, really casual. They brought us on and thought that we were awesome guys. Same with second band Joyous Wolf. And on the Molly Crew tour, we got to hang out with everyone, which is awesome. Like catering was kind of like the hub, the kind of like the mutual hub because everyone needs to eat. So then went to catering and hang out with everyone. See the guys in Poison, they hang out with us. I see like Nikki Six there or Tommy, and yeah. Funny enough, like side stage or whenever we'd go on, there'll be some wings like side the stage where a lot of the personnel would be, and then like every once in a while I'll peek over and I'm like, holy shit, Tommy Lee's watching me perform. I'm like, never in a million years. I just like kept think 20 feet over, like, and just looking over, and like Tommy Lee's like headbanging and stuff. But things like that, and like Joan Jett would sound check after us, and so after our sound check, sound check before us, she'd perform after us. So we'd watch her sound check, and then we just have like a small talk before she goes on, like, how's the show? Oh, the show's great. It's a little hot, but good. You're gonna kill out there. Joan's like, thanks guys, you guys did good. And the guys Def Leppard are awesome. We went over to Phil Collin, his place. He has like I went over to his place close by, and he treated us like family. Like after the tour, when you didn't have to do anything with us, he was just like, I think you guys are dope. Want to come over to the house? We'll like order some food and stuff, and just jammed. We're there for the whole day. Yeah, so pretty much experiences that you'll never forget, and no one like had to be nice to us, but they were. So that was that was really cool. That was really cool.
I love that. I love that you guys kind of crammed like both the like starter tour and the like huge tour all into 1 year. It sounds just like a wild experience.
It was like I kept a tour journal just to keep track of stuff. Oh, but the Giovanni boys, I can't forget Giovanni and the Hired Guns. They were awesome. Like they were just like bros. So we'd just be hanging out and getting like fist bumps, and they're definitely bros. They're there for the hang, and like we like hung out with them a few times after the show and had awesome times, just all vibe together. So we were very lucky to be put on tour with bands that enjoyed us and were just open to having like a new band.
So, how did you get picked up for both of these tours? Is you were the opening act for both of them. So, how did you guys get on the roster for them?
So I guess the Molly Crew tour was probably the easiest one. So we recorded at Tommy Lee's home studio. It was an opportunity that we heard about and we were lucky to have. And so for the first half our album, part of it was recorded at his place. And so then I like never expected to see Tommy Lee. I was just like, okay, cool, that's nice. We're resource available and stuff like that. But then once in a while he'd come down and like peek his head and say what's up, and then I'd be recording guitars and I'm just like turning around, and same thing with like the stadium tour. I'm like, holy shit, that's Tommy Lee. Like this is cool. And then he'd come in like a headbang and like air drum to songs and peek in. And it was just kind of like surreal moments. Like this is kind of insane. And then after a little bit, our music started to like circulate around the Motley camp. They're like, "Oh, who's this band like recording at your guys' place?" Classless Act. Like, their new band are pretty dope, and kind of the same way that like Ozzy Osbourne kind of took Motley Crue under their wings for like that '81 tour. That's what kind of happened to us. So we're lucky to be in good hands, and just the fact that a lot of these bands like Dorothy, Giovanni, and obviously Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett, they're bands that are killing it right now, and they don't have to take on a new band. They could have put some other band there, but they believe in us, and they want to see the new band succeed. So we're fortunate in the sense that we're just surrounded by good people that really care for us.
It reminds me a bit of how Metallica likes to pick up usually like one of, I don't know, Lars' favorite small bands somewhere that is usually one of their opening bands. Kind of sounds like the same idea.
Yeah, take them under wings and kind of like it's good to have like a professional like friend that's on your side, you know?
Yeah. So what about the other tour with Giovanni and the Hired Guns and Dorothy? How'd you get picked up for
Uh,
that one?
yeah, yeah. So pretty much, there are the powers that be that circulate music, and on the Dorothy tour, there was like a slot available, and then our album was being in the process of I think mastering and all that, and so we just pitched it out to be on tours, and Dorothy thought it was dope, and allowed us to be on the tour, and with Giovanni, we were stoked to be on that tour. This is the same thing to where like we pitched it, they heard the album, and a bunch of bands, apply for these tours. It's kind of like a job resume thing. We're like, oh, we're this band, this is what we've done, here's our album. And yeah, we just happened, it just worked. We got selected, he thought we were dope, and it's cool to see someone who's killing it in the game be kind of it's almost like a little nod of like respect, or like approval in a way. I don't know if validation is the right word, but it's like, I'm killing it right now, and I think you're a solid band that can improve what I got going on. So it's cool to be in that like zeitgeist.
So talking about your album, then, I understood the at least two of the songs were largely written by you. One of them was Walking Contradiction, and we kind of already talked about that one in our Instagram interview before. And the other one I heard was The Storm Before the Calm, which is maybe my favorite song. It changed
No, very cool.
everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, so tell me a little bit about that. Like, what inspired it, and how did it get written?
Ooh. Okay. So, well, Walking Contradiction is the one that I have the most, it's the heavier hand in. But for Storm Before the Calm, yeah, I think it was mainly Derek and Frankel kind of thing. But that was just a song that we like rehearse, and just wanted to lock in. We felt like the potential like power of that song. Like right before the second chorus, Derek has that like long note, so the long note where he just belts it out. So we knew that there were some really cool moments, and we wanted just to lock it in. And yeah, it just came with like rehearsing this and like practicing, just running and kind of seeing what felt right over time, because we felt that the more we play it, the more we kind of ourselves will shine through, and the fact that yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, and the fact that DMC came out like SoFi to play, that was special. That was like cool. Like we were proud of this song, and then a very influential person, someone who we all like looked up to, um, was there to perform at our hometown live. Pretty insane. It was definitely weird. It was definitely a journal entry that I was writing. I was like, did this really happen? And it did.
I know you're a big fan of My Chemical Romance, and I definitely get some of those vibes in Walking Contradiction, like really strong Helena vibes in that chorus, which I really love. So was that
Yeah.
intentional, or?
Yeah, I don't know if it's intentional, but like like a lot of your influences and things you're into just bleed through, like any work you do, or anything. You're just influenced by it. Yeah, just that power, and just it's like a self-reflective kind of like song, and so I think MCR is great at stuff that's like self-reflective and almost like allowing your unapologetic personality to just burst through the door. So it was not the plan, but I'm glad that people are receptive to that.
Heard online that you guys are all pretty varied in what instruments you can play. You're all not just, you're not just a guitarist or whatever. So what other instruments do you play? And have you gotten any lessons in any of them? Or are you self-taught?
So aside from guitar, I played that the most. I started playing when I was like 9 or 10, and then I just did sports music my whole life. So I've been playing that for a little while, so I feel pretty comfortable. But aside from that, I also play a little piano and some bass and then some drums. Yeah, I feel just confident. To answer your question, I guess self-taught. I just it's kind of thing to where you just have like you just love the whole encompassing thing that is like music and songwriting, and so then I just want to learn, and that's what I think anyone that has passion for anything has this like craving to learn, and that's what I felt for the bass, the drums, and the piano. I was like, oh, I want to learn. Want to learn, whatever kind of song. Like, when I was a kid, I was super in like Green Day. Like I had a Green Day party when I was 8, so I was like, oh my god, like oh Saint Jimmy, this is so cool, or learn piano to whatever kind of song. So I just really had this hunger for seeing like how this was done because I wanted to do it too. Um, so so yeah, just acquiring stuff and trying to mesh it into my memory bank.
Who was the first person in Classless Act that you met when you joined the band? Or like, how did you discover Classless Act?
So yeah, it's kind of funny story. Um, yeah, so when I first, it was by happenstance. I guess that's the best way to say it. So part of the story is when I first got to LA, didn't know anybody in music. I was playing volleyball for Santa Monica College. Didn't know anybody in music, and then so I just wanted to build like a social media following. So I posted every day on Instagram for like 9 months, just like a guitar cover, a song I knew, every day for 9 months, and then got this following, a small following, like a couple thousand followers, like all over the world, like you know, like Europe, South America, blah blah blah. And then I remember after I transferred to USC, I was studying for a final, and then my phone started like blowing up because this one follower of mine, it was one sweet lady all the way in Ireland. I will always remember her name. Her name's Claire Walsh. She's from Dublin, Ireland. Um, like she tagged at the time with some band in like 20 of my posts saying like, oh, like this guy's awesome. You guys need a guitar player like Classless Act. You guys need this guy's dope. Check out this guitar cover. Add Classless Act. Blah blah blah. Check this guy out. And then like so I had no idea who they were at the time. They didn't really send me music. So then I was like, who's this band Classless Act? And then after the band DM'd me, and then they asked me to come out to an audition. And I took the metro out. They didn't have a car at the time. Took the metro out like an hour to North Hollywood from South Central downtown area, and I got in. So someone in Ireland saw that the band had like an ad, and then tagged me in it, and knowing that I live in LA, and yeah, just interesting this kind of butterfly web effect and how my life is completely different because someone in Ireland saw an ad that Classless Act happened to post. So I always think how different my life would be if her phone died or she forgot to like tag me or just she didn't see the ad or Classless Act posted it 2 days later and Claire didn't see it. So yeah, like my life is just an interesting series of events.
So who of your final form was actually in the band at that point?
I guess I'm the most original member of Classless Act of the current lineup. Yeah. So yeah, Franco came in like a month after me, and then as you know, like lineups like evolve just based off interest and personnel and whatnot. But it's almost like a team that keeps on getting better. It's like an all-star team, of people. We just we lock in our lineup, and it's with people that we're passionate with and just vibe with. So so yeah, we're coming for that championship, baby. 82-0.
Well, I'm running out of time already. I feel like we've only been talking for 2 minutes, but
Talking. I know. I keep.
um, I suppose if you wanted to try and make the world a better place by passing on one message, something that's really affected you, what would that be?
What I think is that a lot of people, a lot of or some problems today are just from like a lack of understanding or at the very least awareness. So I think if there was a meaning of life, it's just new experiences. Because at the very least, with new experiences, you take in new points of views, new perspectives. You might not throw yourselves into these new perspectives, but at least being aware of it and it's in your like consciousness, you just I don't know can make more out of conscious decisions and have another point of view to take in mind. So yeah, just new experiences, even small new experiences. Like I don't know, going like exploring and having being adventurous, you know, kind of shaking up your everyday life.
Well, I'm almost exactly out of time now, so thank you so
Mm.
much for taking the time to do this. This is incredible. Love getting the chance to talk to you guys individually. This is wonderful.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. You know, Bear, I love you're very interactive with us, so it's cool to talk with you. I was very much looking forward when I heard that. I locked in an interview with you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bear. You have an awesome night. It's nighttime.
Yes.